Fortnite Season 10 has come and gone, and you know what that means? It's time to pay up for a brand new Battle Pass. Okay, well, no one's excited for that, but what you're definitely excited about is the whole new game we got for Fortnite Chapter 2. If you just thought this was going to be a typical season update, you thought wrong. We got a whole new game with this update, and Epic Games really shook things up with their weapons, vaulting a bunch of them to start a new chapter of Fortnite. Sometimes we love these changes, but other times we hate them, although it's too early to tell where we stand right now. Without further ado, let's take a look at some of the vaulted weapons in Fortnite Chapter 2. The ARs. One of the most notable changes in Chapter 2, well, other than the completely new map of course, are the weapon changes, especially to the assault rifles. Everyone who wants to earn themselves a victory royale in Fortnite should have an AR in their inventory. These weapons are so versatile that Sunday could literally only use them and win a game. For Chapter 2, Epic Games decided to put the heavy assault rifle and the suppressed assault rifle into the vault for the time being. We were pretty big fans of both of these weapons, but now we're going to have to take on the new world of Fortnite without them. The heavy AR was so good at taking down structures quickly before switching to something more powerful to finish off your opponent. The suppressed AR was more for the stealthy ninja type players. No, not that ninja. You know what we mean. It seems like Epic Games really wants to streamline their weapons for the future, and getting rid of the clutter in each weapon class is exactly how you do it. But we'll still miss these weapons that have been a mainstay in Fortnite for the past few seasons. The SMGs. The next weapon class Epic Games decided to trim were the submachine guns. The SMGs have always been a weird group of weapons in Fortnite that were constantly changing every season. They've been some of the toughest weapons for Epic Games to figure out, and it looks like that trend may continue for Chapter 2, much to the dismay of players like C-Day. Two SMGs are gone from Fortnite for Chapter 2, the Tactical SMG and the Suppressed SMG. The Tactical SMG was literally just unvaulted and put back into the game partway through Season 10, and now it's in the vault again. Clearly that was just a test by Epic Games to see how it fit into the future of the game. The gun must have failed that test, and now it's in the vault again. As for the suppressed SMGs, it looks like Epic is just trying to get rid of all their suppressed weapons. They got rid of the silenced AR, SMG, and another silenced weapon we'll get into later. The SMGs are looking really thin in Chapter 2, but that might actually turn out to be a very good thing. We trust Epic Games to sort their SMG problem out once and for all. The snipers. We've always sucked at sniping in every shooter game you could mention, well, other than CSGO that is. We're bad at sniping in Call of Duty, Battlefield, and especially Fortnite. Epic Games also decided to switch things up with their snipers for Chapter 2, and we were just hoping they'd be even more noob-friendly than before. Well, we hoped for that, but they got rid of the heavy sniper, which was the noobiest weapon of them all, since it pretty much one-shotted anyone at any range anywhere. That's a bit unfortunate, but at least they kept the really fun and super spammy automatic sniper rifle, right? No. They got rid of that one too. Ugh. We guess we won't be sniping anytime soon. But this video isn't about us, it's about the community as a whole, and we can mostly agree that the heavy sniper was a little too good. It had to go. On the other hand, it's harder to come up with an explanation for the automatic sniper being vaulted. All we could think of is that Epic Games really wanted to have more traditional bolt action and semi-auto snipers in the game, since automatic snipers aren't really a thing in real life. The pistols. If you thought the ARs, SMGs, and snipers underwent a bunch of changes for Chapter 2, wait until you get to see the pistols. We got not one, not two, but 3 pistols vaulted, meaning it'll be much harder to complete a pistol-only challenge like Sword Dylan than ever before. Let's start off with the super fun Flint-Knock pistol. This pirate-themed weapon was a perfect fit for Season 8, and we all thought it would get vaulted after that season. But it actually stayed for Season 9 as well before being vaulted for Season 10 and unvaulted later in the season. But it's vaulted again now in Chapter 2, which is the most important thing to know. The silenced pistol is just another suppressed weapon that bit the dust in Chapter 2, which just confirms the fact that Epic hates silenced weapons. We guess they want to make players hear all weapons so there aren't any I didn't even hear him situations moving forward. Last but not least, we have the revolver, the weapon you would always get at the start of each round and miss every shot with. The revolver has also been in and out of the vault multiple times, but it's in there for the beginning of Chapter 2. Will it come back? Will it stay? Nobody knows, but we don't really care for it all that much. Infantry rifle and minigun. We decided to bunch these two weapons in the same entry because why not? Neither the infantry rifle or the minigun is a fan-favorite weapon, although you know we loved us some minigun action just like Ollie. Hey, what can we say? It was amazing at taking down structures and super useful in a game of squads. It was far from a useless weapon. The infantry rifle, on the other hand, well, that's a weapon we could do without. Since the weapon had no scope, it was very difficult to get those one-shot kills in, but we did our best and failed every time. Again, we think Epic Games wanted their snipers to stay traditional, so they decided to get rid of the infantry rifle and stick to scoped snipers only. And we're fine with that. As for the minigun, we think it's just a simple case of no one uses the gun, so what's the point of keeping it in the game? That's a great strategy by Epic, and one that has made them one of the top developers of the past decade. They're just taking out the trash, and that includes the infantry rifle and the minigun. Drum gun. Now we're going to get into some of the weapons that were vaulted during Season 10 to set things up for Chapter 2. And what better weapon to start with than the drum gun? Ain't that right, Vicstar123? You know how much we love the drum gun here at CBR. We talk about it pretty much every single Fortnite video on the channel, so of course we were beyond devastated to learn that it was vaulted again. Vaulted in patch 10.20, the drum gun is no longer in the game, and we're still not over it. Not even close. While we're still very salty, we understand why Epic Games did it. The weapon had a huge magazine and was pretty accurate. Other than that awful first shot, which is why it was just too much to handle. Seriously, what was the deal with that first shot accuracy? We understand that it's not good because the gun can be hip-fired while walking, but come on! We thought they were going to get it right this time. But nope, it found its way back into the vault after struggling to fit the meta. We'll just be patiently waiting for it to come back into Fortnite again. Drum shotgun. Speaking of the drum gun, introduced all the way back in Season 9, the drum shotgun was also an interesting weapon. Everyone was screaming for a new shotgun, and we got one. Although it was not quite what we were expecting. Not all of us could harness our inner laser beam to dominate players with it. It was a very hit-or-miss weapon, but if we're being honest with you guys, we actually kinda liked it. We know, it was a really newbie weapon because you could just spam it to oblivion and hope players are caught by surprise and can't react in time, but that's what made it so fun! It was the quintessential noob shotgun. Sure, it's not the best shotgun out there, but it was still quite powerful, and anyone could pick it up and use it effectively, even though no one was ever using the weapon. When the infamous hotfix patch 10.20.2 rolled along and got rid of so many weapons, the drum shotgun was one of them. It's like Epic Games only wants to take the weapons we like out of the game. We know you probably didn't like the drum shotgun, but we did, and we miss it so much. Combat shotgun. Sticking with shotguns, let's talk about one of the more interesting weapons in recent seasons, the combat shotgun. The weapon was so powerful that you could literally only use it and get a victory royale, just like Lachlan. We wish we were even 1% as good at Fortnite as these guys, but if we're not there by Chapter 2, we're probably never going to get there. Anyway, that's enough about our awful Fortnite career. Vaulted in hotfix patch 10.20.2, yep, the same hotfix we just mentioned in the last entry, this shotgun kinda had it coming. When you think about shotguns, there are two really important stats for these weapons, damage and range. Typically, damage goes down at longer ranges, but you wouldn't know it by using this bad boy. The shotgun was incredibly powerful and had unbelievable range. It also reminded us of the shotgun snipers from Season 1. Okay, they weren't that bad, but still, the combat shotgun was easily one of, if not the best shotgun you could have. No wonder it was vaulted. Now, there's also a rumor that it was vaulted after the John Wick crossover event was over, but we're not buying it. We think it was just OP. Burst SMG. Sometimes outside-the-box ideas work, but most of the time they fall flat on their face, which is exactly what happened to the Burst SMG. When a top YouTuber like Muselk struggles to complete a Burst SMG only challenge, that's when you know the weapon just isn't up to snuff. He even recommends against attempting the challenge, and would you look at that, you literally can't even try it anymore since it's in the vault. The Burst SMG was vaulted in patch 10.30, and the reason was fairly straightforward and made a lot of sense. Epic Games just wanted to make room for the tactical SMG. It's as simple as that. We love the tactical SMG since it returned to Fortnite, but as we mentioned earlier in the video, it also got vaulted in Chapter 2, meaning the Burst SMG was completely pointless and we don't miss it one bit. In fact, the only things we miss with the Burst SMG are targets, because that vertical recoil is atrocious. We couldn't even hit the side of a barn with the weapon, especially on console, so we're glad that it's gone. If you actually liked the Burst SMG, let us know in the comment section below so we could message you back and send you somewhere to get help. We really care about our viewers here at CBR, and we just want to make sure you're all right. Proximity Grenade Launcher. Last but not least, we have everyone's favorite weapon, the Proximity Grenade Launcher. We have absolutely no idea what Epic Games was thinking when they added this weapon to the game. Kiwis might get it, but we sure as heck don't. Essentially, the way the Proximity Grenade Launcher worked was that it would fire an arcing explosive grenade that would blow up when it was in the vicinity of another player. That doesn't sound too bad, right? Well, it doesn't stop there. It was also semi-automatic and could hold 2 rockets at a time, meaning it could fire off both rockets in quick succession. It also had a fast reload, so it pretty much had everything going for it. As if all this wasn't enough already, the Proximity Grenade Launcher was a part of one of the most OP weapon combos we'd ever seen in Fortnite. If you combined it with a heavy sniper, then you pretty much had the game won right there. We're so happy the weapon got vaulted in the hotfix patch 10.20.2 that we keep mentioning. The Proximity Grenade Launcher was simply too powerful, accurate, and rare, so Epic Games decided to vault it. No complaints here, it was a great decision. And that's the real reason why all these weapons were vaulted in Fortnite Chapter 2. We're still salty about the drum gun, even though that happened last chapter. Which weapons are you excited or disappointed to see in the vault? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more Fortnite videos. Thanks for watching.